Hello students, a very good morning to all of you, a very good afternoon in fact to all of you. Welcome to Gradeup, India's largest online education platform. I'm sorry for being late. There was a bit of a technical glitch today. That's the reason I actually signed in a bit late today. But nevertheless, I'm here now. Let's start the session. This is revision class 7 for CLAT 2020. Just join quickly so that I can start the session at once. Okay, I can see many people have been waiting for me for some time. That's great to see. So let's start the session, guys. Today I have brought up a comprehension passage. Okay, it's a comprehension passage. We will read the passage and answer questions based on it. Okay, so I want you to read the passage and answer questions based on that particular passage. So let's start the session. Please do like, share, and subscribe before you start reading. Okay, share the maximum so that most people can benefit from this session. Okay, direction says read the given passage and answer the questions that follow. Certain words are printed in bold to help you locate them while answering some of these. Okay, now this is the passage. It starts here. I would like you to read the passage. Okay, and then we will answer questions based on it, or I will read it out to you. Just tell me how well you understand the passage here. It says we should never confuse education with training or the tools that educators use. Education is no more computer or an online class that it is chalkboard. It is a chalkboard. Those are simply tools. Additionally, precious few new and relevant findings have been added to our learning process. Much of what many proclaim to be insightful turns out to be faddish and misguided. Do you know what faddish means? Let me know. What we need for learning to occur are well prepared and motivated teachers, students who are willing and able to learn a social system that values educational attainment. Many might take exception to these assertions, raising a host of ancillary social, economic, nutritional, and sociological issues. However, decades of data from failed public experiments aimed at mitigating these problems argue to the contrary. Okay, a few new words you've got. You should know the meaning of these words. Now, the first word that I asked you was faddish. Do you know the meaning of faddish, anyone? Can you answer? What do you think is the meaning of faddish? I will not be there to give you the meanings in your exams, guys. So you are the people who should actually judge. Now look at this sentence. Even if you do not know the meaning, it says, additionally, precious few new and relevant findings have been added to our learning process. Much of what proclaimed to be insightful turns, much of which that proclaimed to be insightful turns out to be faddish and misguided. Faddish is something that is not worth it, something which is not good, useless, okay? Something which is actually useless. It is proclaimed that it is very good, okay? It is proclaimed that it's insightful, okay? It will make a mark on the students' minds, but ultimately it is faddish and misguided. So here, if I give you in a gist, it is kind of in this particular passage, the author says that there are, in recent times, the education system has changed. It's not about the tools, but the faculty and the people who teach you, which matters, and not the tools with which they teach you. Okay. Now, in a gist, it says education is no more a computer or online class that it is a chalkboard. Those are simply tools. Those are just media from which you learn different things. Education is imparted to you. Additionally, precious few new and relevant findings have been added to our learning process. Much of what many proclaim to be insightful turns out to be faddish and misguided. What we need for learning to occur are well prepared and motivated teachers. He actually says that teachers are the people who actually matter in teaching, okay, not the tools. Students who are willing and able to learn a social system and that values educational attainment, okay. Education is only that which actually values what education is imparted to the students. Many might take exceptions to these assertions, raising a host of ancillary social, economic, nutritional, and sociological issues. However, decades of data from failed public experiments aimed at mitigating these problems argue to the contrary. Okay, so he talks about there is a kind of a debate about this, but he actually argues that teachers are the ones who actually matter the most in students' lives in imparting education. Now, let's move on to the next paragraph. It says, what are we to do? Create a wave of educational entrepreneurship. Gives you a question mark. There's a question by the author here. Despite all the hype and media attention, no one currently knows the best way forward. What is the best way forward for online education? He talks about. We must incentivize educationalists, technologists, and classroom teachers to experiment and more innovate. Okay, he says more and more incentives to be provided to educationalists. Okay, teachers, technologists who actually work as a support for online education, and classroom teachers to experiment and innovate. Okay, you know, educationalists actually, he talks about people who are in the education industry. Such partnerships should truly explore alternatives as we seek to define the blended face-to-face and online classrooms of the future. Okay, some approaches will fail, but that is part of the change process. He says some approaches may fail, but again, you have to experiment in order to succeed in something. There will be no one size fits all experience. Success will vary from discipline. Success will vary by discipline and educational objectives. Okay, he says there shouldn't be one fixed syllabus for all. It should be tailor made content for each and every student accordingly, according to his level of understanding. Unless everyone involved in this process is inspired to take risks, we will not enjoy the full potential these new approaches represent. Also, we should not forget the extent to which those who most benefit from the current system will attempt to hijack this change process for their own purposes. Okay? Now, the next paragraph says, with these issues in mind, consider the following vision of a change process to the classroom of tomorrow. A vision that leverages technology to create a more personalized learning experience. With the onset of vision, the professor-student relationship will change. What is not likely to survive is the large class in which everyone progresses at the same place. Okay, the conventional classroom may actually not survive. That's what it means. That paradigm will be replaced by a more customized and collaborative learning process. The reality of technology enabled personalized learning environment is still evolving. What seems clear is that at its heart it's a more collaborative and student mapped and paced process. He says in this process both the student and the teacher actually has to work in a collaborative way for learning, okay, to impart education to the students. The function of the professor aided by educationalists will also change. The function of the professor will also change. That's what he says. Now, here in the fourth paragraph, it says student-professor collaboration will then determine both what content can be assigned to practice methods and how the student demonstrates mastery of that content. In such cases, timing issues will most likely be left entirely in the student's hands, while technology specialists recommend the best hardware and software solutions. Critical thinking or application ideas will involve more specialized face-to-face and interactive online approaches. geared to the real-time needs and progress the students is making. Students needs, real-time needs, okay, geared to the real-time needs and progress the students is making, okay. Thus, the professor, with the students' help, will vigilantly mix and blend the learning ingredients to produce a new learning environment. How this process plays out in reality will be the result of educational entrepreneurship, but it will surely entail both successes and some failures. That's the passage about. Okay, I'm not explaining the passage to you guys because I have been doing it regularly in the previous session. So I'm not explaining the passage to you in detail. I have read it out to you. Now we'll go to the questions and see how well you fare in the questions. Okay, there's one more paragraph. Let's read this one as well. It says the administration and accreditation of education will have to change. Okay, and you know what accreditation means? The process of certifying people, that is accreditation of education, will have to change. Like accreditation is generally like CBSE, ICSE. These are accreditations given to the educational institutions. As more education occurs outside the bricks and mortar framework, bricks and mortar framework means the set framework and is more centered on the student professor interaction, the role of all non-teaching staff will also need to be reassessed. As students and faculty increase their use of technology to personalize their formal and informal learning, educational technologies must be on hand to facilitate the effective use of that technology. They should actually be there to help the support staff. Also, the current hierarchical and standardized outcomes and formulas for administration and accreditation of colleges and universities are no longer tenable. Okay, tenable means they are no longer, should not be no longer valid. Realistically, they are an impediment to the change needed. Try to judge the meaning of impediment because it's highlighted and the meaning of impediment may be asked later in the questions. Let's move on to the okay. There's one more paragraph. Sorry, it's quite a big paragraph here. Finally, we must address one of the most serious challenges facing online education: cheating. Simply put, cheating is rampant, and we are turning a blind eye to the problem. Cheating threatens the integrity of the educational process and the value added of the degree. Solutions must be found and implemented or all changes will be for naught. Okay, so here the passage comes to an end. Okay, in the last paragraph he talks about cheating, which is one of the biggest challenges that can be faced in online education, which needs to be reigned over, that has to be controlled, okay, kept in check. That's what he means. Now let's move on to the questions finally. It says, which of the following is most similar in meaning to the word given marked in bold from the passage? Talks about entail. Now, where was entail given? Okay, it is asking for the synonym: limit, occasion, involve, or subject. Now, where was entail given? Let me show it to you in the passage. See, look here. How this process plays out in reality will be the result of educational entrepreneurship, but this will surely entail both successes and some failures. Okay, when you look at the word in a sentence, this will surely entail some successes and some failures. What does entail mean? This will surely limit, this will surely occasion, this will surely involve, or this will surely subject. A, B, C, D, which do you think is the correct answer for this one? Whenever you have a doubt with the synonyms or antonyms, try reading that sentence. You will get a clear idea of the meaning. Okay, for sure. So, entail actually should mean C, which is involved. It surely involves both successes and some failures. C is appropriate, absolutely. Okay, next question goes, which of the following can be most suitable title for the passage? Educating through technology, what future can be? Teachers and obsolete future. Obsolete means useless. They are no longer needed in the future. Okay. C, the hype around technology aided education. Okay, limitations of technology. A, B, C, D. Which do you think should be the answer for this one? Think carefully and answer. Okay, most of you have given me the correct answers, guys. You're absolutely right. The correct answer should be C, the hype around technology aided education. In the entire passage, the author actually discusses technology aided education only. And what's the hype around it? What is the debate around it? What is the discussion? What is the controversy? What is the kind of the debate around it? That is what being discussed. So the best appropriate title would be the hype around technology aided education. Why can't you select A, educating through technology, what the future can be? He doesn't only talk about the future. Okay, he talks about several other things apart from this. So this will just focus on a part of the passage. Teachers and obsolete future, this is completely irrelevant. Okay, you cannot select this particular title. This is irrelevant. It doesn't say that the teachers will be obsolete. Limitations of technology, this is a very broad category, very broad topic. So you cannot select that as well. So C is the correct answer for this one. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Next question says, which of the following is true according to the author? According to the author, which of these statements are true? A says, the way the colleges are granted certification will have to change to accommodate the changes in imparting education through technology. Okay, colleges are granted certification. One word is accreditation. He talks about accreditation, if you remember, that is certification of colleges. Okay. B says, with the onset of technology enabled education, the school college premises or building will lose its importance slightly. Okay, if people get into online education, the school and college premises or building will lose its importance slightly. Okay, is that true according to the passage? C says, with the onset of the desired level of technology enabled education, learning will become a joint effort of students as well as the teachers. So which do you think is correct according to the passage? Which do you think is true according to the passage? All right. Good, guys. It's good. I'm really happy to see that most of you have understood the passage and are trying to retain what we read in the passage. Well done. Your answer is absolutely correct. The correct answer should be B, which is all three are correct. Okay, the author indeed says that the way the colleges are granted certification, accreditation will have to change to accommodate the changes in imparting education through technology. Yes, he says that. With the onset of technology enabled education, the school and college premises or building will lose its importance slightly. Absolutely, it may, because if people change over to online education, the buildings may lose their importance. And see, with the onset of desired level of technology enabled education, learning will become a joint effort of students as well as teachers. Both have to collaboratively work together. Okay, collaboratively work in order to impart education to the students accordingly. Okay, it should be tailor made content. So yes, all A, B, and C is correct. Let's move on to the next question. B is the correct answer. Says, which of the following is most opposite meaning to the given word marked in bold from the passage, which says mitigating. You have to give me the antonym. Okay, aggravating, irritating, annoying, frustrating. Now let me show you where mitigating was written in the passage. Let's go to the passage once again. Pretty lengthy passage, but I guess the answers might be pretty easy for you. However, decades of data from failed public experiments aimed at mitigating these problems argue to the contrary. Why are those experiments made? To mitigate these problems. Okay, experiments were done to mitigate the problems. So you have to give me the antonym of mitigate. Let's go to the question. Okay, here goes. Mitigating those problems, which means what? Controlling the problems. Okay, so what should be the antonym? Aggravating, irritating, annoying, or frustrating? Okay, the antonym should be, in fact, A, which is aggravating. Mitigating means controlling the problems. So the antonym will be, opposite will be aggravating, which means increasing those problems. Okay, so A should be the correct answer for this one, guys. I guess, yeah, few people said A, aggravating. Absolutely right. Well done, guys. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 5 says, according to the author, which of the following changes will occur with the onset of the desired level of technology-aided education? According to the author, which of these changes will occur as soon as technology-aided education is actually comes? Which of these should be correct? A says the pace of learning for each student will be different. B says the decision of how much time a student needs to learn will be left to the student's disposal. C says the role of the teacher will change and become one of being the provider of tailored learning content to the students. Which of these do you think is correct according to the passage? Okay, guys, at times you have to understand at times what, in all the cases, you have to understand the question well. It says, according to the author, which of the following changes will occur with the onset of desired level of technology aided education? Which of these changes will occur? It says the pace of learning for each student will be different. Will that change occur after technology aided education comes? Not exactly. That change will not occur later. This is already there. The pace of learning for each student is different. It won't be different later. Already it would be tailored accordingly. B says the decision of how much time a student needs to learn will be left to the student's disposal. Yes, this is mentioned. See, the role of teacher will change and become one of being the provider of tailored learning content to the students. So B is right, C is right. A, I will not take A in this question. So the correct answer should be B, which is B and C. You cannot take A because this is not a change that will occur later. This is already present. So that's the reason we are providing tailor-made content to the students. So B should be the correct answer, which is B and C. Okay. Next question says, what does the phrase will be for naught mean? Will be for naught. Will be for trouble. Will face complications. Will not be allowed. Will amount to nothing. Now, where did you have will be for naught? Let me show it to you again. It is in the last paragraph. It says cheating threatens the integrity of the educational process and the value added of the degree. Solutions must be found and implemented for cheating, okay? Or all changes will be for naught. All changes will be for naught. So let's move on to the question again. All changes will be for naught. What does it mean? Will be in trouble, will face complications, will not be allowed, will amount to nothing. Which do you think is correct? Okay, not actually means zero. Okay, do you know the meaning of not? Not actually means zero. So, will amount to nothing. D is absolutely Right. Okay. Usually Englishmen, people from England, they use this word not to actually refer to zero. If you ask them the number, they will say 91 not means 00. Okay. So not actually means zero. So will amount to nothing. So D is the correct answer. Absolutely. Next question. According to the author, which of the following is not true about cheating? It is not true. A says it is one of the gravest problems faced in education. Is it not true or true? It undermines the value of credential obtained through education. True or not true? Not much is being done to curtail it at present. True or not true? Not true. It is quite prevalent at present. What do you think? A, B, C, D. Which of these is not true? Okay, once more, I'll take you to the paragraph, to the last paragraph. It's mentioned there, guys. Look here carefully. It says, finally, we must address one of the most serious challenges facing online education, which is cheating. Simply put, cheating is rampant and we are turning a blind eye to the problem. Rampant means it exists uh, in a lot of places. Cheating threatens the integrity of educational process and the value added of the degree. Solutions must be found and implemented or all changes will be for naught. Now, which of these is not true according to the passage? If we look for that, now let me come to the question. It is one of the gravest problems faced in education. Is it mentioned or not mentioned? What do you think? Is it mentioned in the passage or not? Yes, it is. It is the gravest problems. It's mentioned. It undermines the value of credential obtained. This is mentioned. Not much is being done to curtail it at present. This is not mentioned in the passage. Okay, this is not mentioned that not much is being done to curtail it at present. Not mentioned. It is quite prevalent. This is also, it is rampant. Okay, the rampant word suggests that this is prevalent at present. So D is also mentioned. So the one which is not true according to the passage should be C. Whosoever said C was absolutely right. C. Okay. So these were the questions for today, guys. This was the passage for today. And before I leave, a quick, let me give you the highlights about the Gradeup courses which are being launched. It's the CLAT 2021 Batch 2 is being launched from Gradeup by Gradeup. It's a comprehensive course, which means it's a detailed course. People who are aiming for CLAT 2021. We also have a batch for CLAT 2020. It's a 45-day express course, which is batch 4. These are the two courses that are being launched by Gradeup. Okay, you have the Gradeup Super, in which you get unlimited access to all structured live courses and mock tests. You can download the Gradeup app and you'll get it on the Google Play Store. All right, guys. So I hope you liked the session. You enjoyed the session. There are a few more things about the faculties. I'm sure you must be aware of these faculties who actually constantly come on YouTube as well. They are experts in their respective fields. Now, first is Surjit sir, who actually teaches legal reasoning. He's an expert in the field. Then we have Shantanu sir for current affairs, Savitri ma'am for critical reasoning, Pranav sir for quant and DI, Ankit sir for analytical reasoning, and you have me for English. Okay, so please subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon for notifications about such sessions. Okay, you will get notifications about these free sessions on YouTube as well. Okay, there's a CLAT 2020 Mega Mock Challenge, okay, on the August 29th at 12 p.m., which will be live for 48 hours only. you can register now. It's a mock test on the 29th of August, 12 p.m. So please enroll yourself, register yourself in this. Okay, so with that, we come to the end of the session, guys. I hope you got to learn from the session. So out of 7 questions, judge for yourself how many answers you gave correctly. I hope most of you must have answered them correctly, because I could see the majority giving correct answers for this one. Okay, so even if you are able to score 80 to 90% in reading comprehension passages, that's a good enough score for now. But keep improving, keep reading, as I've always said, that keep reading newspapers, magazines. These are very, very important in order to improve the comprehension, understanding of the passages. Very, very important. Okay, so I will be coming up with such sessions in the future as well. Do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching the session. I will see you in the next session, guys. Until then, goodbye. Stay safe. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.